In this video we're going to be making a speckled Easter egg. So for the speckled Easter eggs we're going to need a little Easter egg mould. And I'm going to do mine in colour melts rather than actual chocolate. Now they dry quite quick as well, which makes it nice. Colour wise I want a light blue, so I'm going to use a bit of white and a bit of blue, and I'm just going to mix them together. So I'm just going to put a little bit of my blue into my white. And I'm going to melt that now. You can do it in the microwave or over a bowl of water. Once you've melted your colour melts, you just want something like an Oreo or another chocolate biscuit, something that's quite dark in colour, and you're just going to crush it to make little crumbs. And we're just going to put a pinch of the crumbs into our melted colour melts. And this is just going to create our speckled effect. So it's up to you how many you want to put in. It will just affect how speckledy it looks. So try not to get too many larger pieces of the Oreo in. And we're just using these for the nice speckledy effect. But it also means it's a little bit crunchy as well when you bite into it, which is quite nice. So what I'm going to do is just put a spoonful of the colour melts into my Easter egg tray. You can put it in both at the same time if you want. And then you want to tip your mould around until you've covered the surface. Just keep tipping it round until you've coated it all the way around. So we're not too far off. And you should be able to see through your mould that it's got a nice speckledy appearance. And do the same with the other one. So if it goes over the edge of the mould, just scrape that little bit off. And what we'll do is we'll let the first layer dry. Shouldn't take too long. I'm just going to leave it for sort of 10-15 minutes and then I'll give it another layer. So I've let these dry and I'm going to add a little bit more into each one and try and move this around in exactly the same way that we just did for the other one, or for our first layer. So I've done my second coat. You can see as it's cooling down, it's losing its smooth finish, but it's starting to set as I was doing that. I've just scraped off the edges so that it stays nice and flat. And again, I'm going to probably give it about 10-15 minutes to harden. Then it'll be ready to take out of the mould. So once you've let these dry, we can pull them out or push them out. And just be quite careful when you're doing it. So I've got both of those out. And I'm going to put this back in here just for a second, just to hold it upright, stop it rocking about while I seal them both together. I've put some more melted colour melts into a little piping bag and I've just trimmed the end off. And what I'm going to do is just pipe a little bit of this around the edge. And I'm going to place my other half on top. Trying to line it up. Just give it a bit of a smooth round. So we'll just give it a couple of seconds to harden and then try and tip it back out of your mould. Again, just make sure you've neatened off the edge. So that gives us a little speckledy egg. And you can do them in whatever colour you want. Now you can leave them as they are, or you can add a little bit of decoration. So what I'm going to do is I'll add mine to an iced board so that it stands up. So I've just got a board that I've got a bit of green fondant stuck on the top of here. Now I do have a video on icing a cake board if you do need to see that. And I'm just going to put a slight indentation in the middle. Now I've got a polystyrene ball to push in at first rather than pushing my egg in just in case I break it at all. So I'm just going to gently give it a little bit of a push to create an indentation. And then I'm going to use my melted chocolate to just put a little bit in that indentation. And you can just place your egg upright. Decide which side you like as the front. And we'll just push that into that indentation. Now, if it doesn't stand up on its own, just keep hold of it for a couple of seconds, just while that chocolate underneath is sticking, or drying I should say. So I've got some of my icing left, or my fondant left from when I iced the cake board. And I'm just going to roll out a couple of little leaf shapes. I say leaf shapes, I'm actually going to use a heart-shaped cutter. And you can use a tool or like a cake modelling tool or the back of a knife to just create a little line down the centre, which makes those look a little bit more like leaves. And I'm just going to push these on into the corner of my board. Playing around with them until they're in the position that you're happy with. Go for a slightly smaller one. can bend the end over a little bit if you want. Stick that on there. And for decoration, I'm actually going to use some little Cadbury's mini eggs. I'm just going to push these in. I realise this is probably a bit more difficult for you to see. So just on the edge like that. And if you want any others dotted about, just push them in wherever you want them. And just to finish it off, you just want a little bit of ribbon around your cake board, just to neaten it off that little bit. Okay, so you can attach the ribbon with a pin at the back, or with double-sided sticky tape if you prefer. And of course, rather than putting it on a board, you could put it on a cake, and they look nice in a range of different colours. I hope you enjoyed the video.
If you liked this video and would like to see more, please click on the images of the other videos suggested. Also, please do subscribe to my channel using the button at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. You can also visit my cake website and my Facebook page to see more cakes and ideas.